What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is drift prep day. I'm going to give you guys a full rundown of exactly what I do before a drift event. This one's going to be a little bit different just because the fact that I have a little extra work that I need to do that I've been putting off for a few years and whatnot. But basically what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a day in the life of Jeremy running through his drift car, making sure everything's kosher before an event. And then we'll actually go through exactly what I pack for an event, just in case for emergencies or if parts break or anything like that. And then, yeah, we're going to get the car loaded up and should be good to go. So jumping right into things, as you can see, I have my rear driver's side hub all taken apart, just to the fact that my caliper here, so this is the caliper that actually was for the hydro handbrake. The past couple events when I've been driving, I noticed that, you know, the line, like my hydro handbrake has been losing pressure. We would have to bleed it probably 2 or 3 times per event, so we didn't really know what was going on. I found out that the line that was actually being run, this is a new one that I've already bent and made, but what was going on was the fact that it was rubbing on the axle. So as the axle turns, the line was rubbing. Me and Julian back then didn't put a good enough bend in here, so it wouldn't touch that axle, and unfortunately it rubbed through. There was probably like a slight leak because there's a slight like rub through it, and then it got to the point where it literally just like rubbed through the entire line. It was broken. But as I was disconnecting the line from the caliper itself, I noticed that the insert was stripped. So I tried to go and actually helicoil this. I tried to tap it. I tried to make it work again. It was too far gone. So it's actually pretty hard that I wasn't able to do that. So I actually went to Rich Hogan. He had a spare caliper, so I bought one off of him. So basically what I need to do is I need to shave these brackets off right here. So they're kind of, I don't even know what they're typically for, but I have to shave these off here on each side just because of how it's supposed to bolt up to the actual dual caliper setup itself. Once I get that shaved down, we're going to put it back on the bracket with the hub over here. We're going to bolt everything back up. And then from there, we should be able to put the wheel back on. Once we put or maybe before we put the wheel on, we're going to put the new line, connect the new line. After putting the new line on, bleed the system. After bleeding the system, put the wheel on, and then we should be finally good to go. So what I need to do is actually remove this OEM line here from here, and that's where this bracket actually bolts up to. So that's what we need to shave down. We need to shave that down to basically make it flush with this piece here. So it's not that much, but we got to cut that down. Yeah, and then I'm going to actually swap all this stuff out, put my other stuff in here just because I want the even wear for right now. I do have to replace these though, like sooner than later, but for this event, I'm just trying to get everything done, said, and ready to go. All right, guys, as you can see, shaved those down quite a bit. It's probably like 1/4 of an inch, just about. Tried to make them nice and even though, so those are nice and good now. So again, that's just to clear the bracket when you're actually putting it on here because they kind of come into the lip here. But so shave those down. We're good there. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of clean up all these parts. I'm going to swap the pads to the pads that I have on this caliper here. Yes, there's not a lot of life left, but it's just because I'm trying to make them even with the other one. All right, guys, so I got the parts and the pads swapped over to this one now, okay? I still got to clean up the inside of there a little bit, but besides that, pretty much good to go. Now all I have to do is mount this up to the bracket, and then so on and so forth. All right, guys, so everything is said and done. The system is bled. Everything is working in order now. I bled the other side just to make sure that there's no air in the system. As you can see, she is grabbing like a moth. So it's got like that much play, which is the most it's ever had. So pretty excited about it. So that's gripping up. That's all good. Now it's time to clean up, get everything situated so I can throw this thing on the trailer. What I got to do now is just go through all the tools. So that's what I'm going to do with you guys. I'm going to walk you through everything that I bring to make sure that if I run into any issues, I'll be able to fix it. So I don't want you guys yelling at me right now. Everything's a mess because I've just been doing so much work on this one and the other one. But mainly my go-to kit, okay, I have collected things over the years. But it's this Craftsman, I think like 320 piece set. I bring this everywhere with me. If anybody that knows me, this is like my go-to kit. Every event that I've been to, I've done something with my car. I bring this with me, and this is pretty much what I need, honestly. Obviously, as you can see, these don't come with a kit. All these impacts, some are for axle nuts, some are for like the power steering banjo bolt. And then obviously I have like little kits like this for Torx bits. Just some picks here, some crow's feet. And then yeah, obviously like other sockets that don't belong in here, like these, just for like the crankshaft pulley bolt. But yeah, things like that. I do always bring a breaker bar with me. Breaker bar is always good to have just in case. But yeah, the kit basically comes with a ton of stuff, okay? So practically everything you need, anything from 3/8 to 1/2 inch. But yeah, then I go to my wrenches, and I do throw all these up top. So the kit does come with some wrenches, but I have wrenches that vary from 10 millimeter all the way up to 22 millimeter. I think the kit only goes from 10 to 15, 10 to 14, something like that. For metric, obviously. It does come with metric and standard too, so that's always a plus. But as you can see, I'm trying to just make everything in order again to make sure I have everything. So I have all those, and then I do have my ratcheting wrenches here also. These are huge, guys. I got these at Harbor Freight for like 15 bucks, I think. And no joke, probably one of the best buys that I've ever had with these. Just makes things wrenching a bit easier. Obviously, if you have enough room to be able to use that back head here, but yeah. Allen keys. Allen keys are huge for Z's. Or just drifting in general. Some wheels you need them for to take off like the center caps. And then there's just various things. I have so many freaking Allen keys. I have these, I have another set, and then I have like a bag of them. It's a ton. Then going from there, torque wrench. Always torque wrench, because you want to make sure you torque your wheels, because if you don't, they will come off, and I have seen that. Needle nose pliers, sledgehammer. I do have a full bag over here that I'm going to show you guys exactly what comes in the bag. Usually that's like my heavy duty stuff, hammers, pulley pullers, things like that. Your drill bag, I always do bring drills. This just makes it a little bit easier, just getting the lug nuts onto the wheels and off the wheels. Obviously this isn't like a snap-on, so it doesn't like torque things down well, so that's why I bring the torque wrench. But going off of there, always bring drill bits and stuff, because sometimes you gotta, something snaps, you gotta drill it out, whatever. So always have your drill bits, your drills. Let's see, chargers in there, extra batteries, scissors, wire cutters, heavy duty wire cutters, always a plus. Okay. Then I bring my ramps. The reason why I bring my ramps is because when your car is stupid low and you're trying to get it on the trailer, you scrape like crazy. But if you raise the back of the truck up, it lowers the front end of the trailer, so it's easier to get up. So always grab these. I got these for like 50 bucks at Advance like years ago. Jesse was the actual one that taught me how to do that. Jump box, always bring a jump box just in case if something decides to go, like a starter or anything. I mean, not a starter, like, I mean, practically if your battery dies or whatnot, a lot of these cars, they always have their lights on or something's a draw somewhere and it usually dies. Always bring that just to help the homies out just in case. Then from there, my box of goodies. Extra tension rods, control arms, and said inners. Because inners like to go. Outers usually can last all right with it. But yeah, so I have a bunch of those. That's just like a little crate. That's just in case for suspension parts. If something decides to fail besides coilovers, I don't bring extra coilovers. Because, I mean, if you did, you're big ballin'. But yeah, I have that. I'm trying to think what else is up there. That's all good for right now. Zip ties. Zip ties and tape. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. Especially for drifting. Then I have this crate over here. More zip ties. I always bring extra oil, spark plugs, and brake fluid just in case. And then I have an extra fuel pump here just in case my fuel pump decides to die. And then also I have airbags here to basically blow out any dents or anything that's like major that's causing like a tire issue like this one. I'm thankful that I had these. We were able to do that, use those for a little bit, and use like a pipe to kind of roll the fender again because it was digging into the tire, which was slowing me down and also destroying my tire. So that's that. And then we go to the tires. These I am not running. I will be running these down here. These are shot. I have new tires to put on there. It's also key to always try to figure out if they do have, what's it called, like a tire machine there or whatnot, because it makes things a lot easier, especially for people that work like Monday through Friday and stuff. I can't really get to the town fair or like a tire shop unless it's on the weekends, and then sometimes they're not open, sometimes they are, so it's kind of hit or miss. But yeah, basically what I try to do is get to the tire machine early as possible, swap those tires, and then should be good to go. So that's the goal for those. I have like 4 sets, I think, I'm running Z-Bruhz and Z-Bruhz, I believe, this event. I also forgot to add too, I do bring a few taps and dies with me. Mainly just the Nissan kind of normal, typical nuts and bolts things that kind of get shredded or stripped or whatever. I have basically the M10 by 1.25, things like that. So just try to have a little bit of everything just to be able to obviously help myself or help others if they need it. Typically I don't bring any helicoil kits or anything that's a little too in-depth for a drift event. Honestly, it would be great, but there's so many different kits, and these are super expensive. I typically do bring an angle grinder and a heat gun and such, but I guess I'm not going to be doing that because I don't know if there's any outlets. Basically, the truck is all set up now, okay, for everything that I had to prepare, right, for prep day. So I have my electrical bag that has anything and everything that I possibly would need, like eye hooks, you know what I mean, shrink wrap, anything like that, extra wire if I needed anything, if something were to happen in that type of case. I have all my Allen keys, okay, right here. Hose clamps. The crate that we already kind of went over with all like the extra arms, inners and outers. Extra belts that I've collected over the time. Again, zip ties, brake fluid, brake clean, oil, a spare helmet. You always need a spare helmet just in case for ride-alongs. I have a lot of Permatex stuff there. Extra tarps, hoses, okay, just for anything that you really mainly need. Then the big bag that I was talking to you guys about earlier. And that big bag just consists of hammers, pulley pullers, extra wrenches, screwdrivers, whatever. This is a bag that's basically just for kind of anything. Then for me, obviously I need my ramps because the car is super low. So I have to have my ramps, spare tires, jack stands, jack, chairs to sit. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. Everything else is just like my helmet and stuff in there. So there's nothing really else in the car itself. And then for the YouTube, you know, I mean, life. Obviously, if you guys aren't going to, if you guys aren't filming at a drift event, then you guys don't really have to worry about this stuff. But I just want to throw it all in there, you know what I mean, what I got. So I have my whole GoPro set up here, all the attachments, gimbal for filming when I'm outside of the car, extra batteries, suction cups, chargers, walkie-talkies, and then this is like all my like filming stuff for like cinematic stuff, more mounts, speakers, more chargers, batteries, and then more walkies and stuff. So, and then my solo mount. Again, when you're prepping for a drift event, you want to just make sure that you have, you know what I mean, stuff that you're going to be comfortable in and around and have and what you need for the day. Within time, you guys will learn. Hopefully from this video, you'll be able to see exactly what you somewhat need, okay? I would say mainly it's just like bring spare parts that typically go, you know what I mean, axles if you can. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Inners and outers are kind of big because those typically bend a lot when things go down. But besides that, if you guys, hopefully this little prep day and shows you exactly what I have and what I bring and what I use and whatnot. Hopefully it'll be cool for you guys and help you guys out.